kids who are fresh out of college. I had like a 22-year-old, 30-year-olds. It's just all over. Everybody's trying to buy a house. It's not just one specific demographic.
So man, I mean, this whole this whole COVID thing kind of changed it up though, right? Like you can't, they were stopping the open houses for a second, right, and all that stuff. I don't think they're doing that.
Yeah, they did. They weren't letting people go in, and even now you have to sign it's called a PEAD. It's a disclosure. It's a coronavirus disclosure, essentially saying like you're gonna go in here, you're saying you don't have it, and you can only have 2 people at a time, and so it's changed things a little bit. And they're doing a lot of virtual tours now, so they got virtual staging, which is actually a pretty good idea. I mean, some people.
But they were already doing the virtual thing, right?
Some people already did that. Yeah, it's just ramped up now because of the the circumstances. But it's actually not a bad idea because not everybody wants to. Some people do like going out to like view homes and going in homes and seeing what it feels like. But then some people, they're looking all over the place and they got to see 10 houses or they need options. So the virtual tour, gives them that opportunity to just do it from home. So that's a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that may be one of the changes that's made to the industry because of the pandemic is there might be more of that. Just as everybody's doing Zoom now, and we may be transitioning from flying in to do meetings to now, we can do Zoom, we can save money, we don't have to fly our clients out.
Well, there was already Skype, right? There was already Zoom.
Well, yeah, right. No, it was, but it wasn't being used like it is.
It wasn't being used, right? Because I was doing Zoom a year before this even happened for a college class I was taking. So I was already familiar with how to use it and all that. And then when we heard we're going to that, I was like, and to some people it was like brand new. And I was like, I've already been doing it. I already know like the chat, all that stuff. I know how to use all that. So okay, so I'm glad you touched on that. Like it's gonna change the industry. We've seen kind of every industry kind of take these little changes right from the COVID. And some of them are for the good. Like restaurants, how you go in, right? And now you can scan the menu. You know what I mean? So like now these restaurants don't have to waste money on printing new menus and stuff and always updating them. Like it's really easy to do it on the computer real quick. It looks really nice. It has a little QR and they're like scanning it and they can just pay, right? You don't even have to so in that sense, it's going to help the restaurant. I think it's going to be easier for them to take orders and do all that. Cause I think like the whole menu thing was like, like,
no, I agree with that. Yeah.
And so with the homes, okay, what's easier? Like, I mean, have you been a part of like selling a home or you've only been doing like really the buy-in of the home?
Yeah, I have. And I sat in, I've done open houses and all that. And I mean, they're fine, but you have those times where nobody's going to show up, or you got 1 or 2 people showing up, and you're there for hours, sitting there. But it's part of the game because that it's just a numbers thing. The more people that see it, the more potential buyers you have. But with the virtual thing, it's interesting because you can just send your client a link. Oh, here's the virtual tour. Check it out. What do you think from what you see? Oh, it looks good. You want to go actually see it now? Okay, we can do that.
It's like another step, right? It's like another step. Like, you sure you want to go see it? Because look at the driveway; it's all cracked. Are you sure you want to go?
Right. Because I've gone out on to go view homes, and we don't even go inside. They get to the door and they're like, "Oh no, this is not. I don't want this. We're not doing this." So it's just good for them to see as much as they can before they actually go and see it.
Okay, and so like, I mean, because I've seen like it's obviously all TV shows, but like you got to get someone to stage the home, right? Most of the time to make it like be successful, right, or get the most you can get out of it, they like stage it, right? They bring all these things, and then you got the virtual camera guy. So like a lot of other industries are getting into the photographers. They get the way they take the pictures, right? Like all that stuff comes into play, right, when you're trying to sell the home.
Yeah. So with that, I mean, you can do the staging if you feel like you need it. I mean, obviously, it adds value to whoever's viewing the home. But that's an expense. Yeah. So you got to remember that. I mean, you're going to spend, maybe a couple $1,000s to stage your home. Is that going to be worth it? That's coming out of your pocket, so that you can find a buyer. Now, if a house is sitting and you think that, well, it looks like, garbage inside, we need to make it pretty, because you think that's going to help, then, go for it. I personally, we did it a couple times. It just didn't seem worth it, really. So
no, because if the home is like, when we bought the home, right, the home was already going to be kind of like, you got to put some work into it. What's the point of staging that? Like, if I'm already going to have to replace a bunch of things.
Right.
Right. I mean, unless the house, like you said, like we saw one, right? It was like brand new. Remember, like they did everything and they staged and all that. That makes it like, okay, you're going to spend another 10 G's probably just the way it's like staged. You know what I mean? So it's just,
right. And that's where you kind of got to, put your salesman hat on and be like, well, listen, Don't worry about what you see in here. Just look at the space.
Look
You
at
know,
the
look at what you
walls.
got. Think about the potential. You know, that's what that's what you gotta, do all that. So
Yeah. So, I mean, do you think it's harder to help someone buy one, or you think it's harder to sell a home?
well, selling is easier just because once it's listed, you just sit there and you just take calls. You take calls from agents. Oh, we want to go see it. Can we go see it? Yep, go ahead. You send text messages. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Here's the gate code or whatever. With when you're a buying agent, you have to actually assist with this buyer in all of that. So you got to make the calls to this agent and that agent, see if they got an offer on that one. How many offers do they have on this one? Can I go see this one? Can I set an appointment for this? Can we do this? So you're all over the place when you have a
Right.
buyer. But when you have a home, it's just this is all you're dealing with, just this home.
Yeah, that seems like a lot of what I mean? It's like a lot of unpaid work, right? It's like you're just like kind of hoping this goes through, right? Like,
That's what it is. Yeah, exactly.
come on, man, just buy the house. Just click on it. So, have
But
you?
see, you can avoid.
What happened? Go ahead. What'd
I'll
you
say
say?
you can avoid this if you have if you're working for like one of the bigger companies, but what were you saying?
So, okay, this is my question. I kind of came with right. When you have you ever dealt like with another realtor because you're doing like the buy and sell thing, and they just been like, I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
has anyone ever like schooled you like, man, this person knows way more than me, or anyone just been like so tough on you or anything like that? Maybe.
No, not really. And it's funny because we deal with a lot of other agents, and I've only been doing this. I've been doing this 6 years, and sometimes I deal with agents who've been doing it 20, and it feels like maybe I know a little more than they do, or I'm doing more than they do, or I'm more engaged than they are. It's just so no, I don't think it's. I haven't came across any agent who's been like, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You know what you're doing. I know more than you. This." Because we're trying to work together. I mean, we're both trying to get paid.
Yeah, you need to
So,
work.
let's make it easy on each other. Right. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I feel you, man. Cause I don't know. I always felt like, I don't know. You might get some realtors like, nah, they're not gonna fix this. I don't know. Like, I think that comes with the buyer though, right? Like the buyer's gonna be all like,
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's
shaky.
really up to the buyer. Yeah.
Yeah. So you say you're not, you haven't done too much of the social media, right? You don't have like a, at Shelby Realtor. You don't have any of that. But do you think like anyone's actually using like they actually go to social media to go find this home? Like we talked about this before. Like I don't know.
Mhm.
Like I don't think, at least in my personal experience, I don't think I would be like shopping around for a realtor. Like I think, like you say, you kind of network it. Like whoever is close to you, you might know someone that knows someone, and
Mhm.
that's who I'm going with. Like I don't know. How do you feel about
I
that?
think I think a lot. Yeah, I think it's well, you get these flyers in the mail, and it's name recognition. Caldwell Banker. Oh, I know them. I see their signs all over the place. Let me call them and get with a realtor there. So there are people who go that route. But then because there are so many realtors, and people who know realtors, I think that the other part of it is a lot of it is who you know. Oh, I know. My cousin. He's a realtor.
Right.
You want me to get you with him? Or stuff like that. So.
That's how it comes down, right? And I mean, it's a trust thing, right? Because you're
Yeah.
like, I gotta trust this person. I gotta like, they're gonna see my financials. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Or they gotta have my
That
best
too.
interest. You know what I mean? And so it's kind of
Right.
like, I don't know. Because then my mom has somebody that she trusts, but then it's like, nah, I'm gonna go. I gotta help. You gotta buy local, man. You gotta support local. So like, hey, if I have a
Hmm.
friend, one of my best friends who sells houses, I gotta roll with him. You know what I mean? Like, hopefully he knows what
Hmm.
he's doing. Hopefully he knows what he's doing.
Right. And that's yeah, and that's why I would say it's not so bad that people are trying to get their licenses because it's just more options for people, which is it's good. It's a good thing.
Okay, so you say your future plan would be definitely to go full on real estate. That's the lifestyle you want. Yeah, to kind
Yeah.
of have like, and you're
Yeah.
gonna work like I think people think like, oh, you're gonna have financial freedom. You're gonna work more probably than you work at your job, right? Because you're
You're
gonna
gonna
work
work
more
more than you're
unpaid
working.
hours, right?
Exactly.
Right.
And you're gonna be working weekends. You're gonna be working, you gotta be on your phone, you gotta be by your phone, you gotta be on standby for your clients and the buyers, it's all of that. So I mean it's a lot of work. And there's no you don't clock out 5 o'clock. You don't get to go home.
Right.
You're working from home. I mean,
Right.
so
Right. So like a lot of people think like with these like entrepreneur like routes, right? That people want to take. I just don't want to work for nobody. It's like, yes, but when you work for somebody, there's like a set schedule. You know what I mean? Like there's rules, like there's like regulations on how much you can work and how much you're going to get paid. Right. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
people want this
yeah.
entrepreneur life, but
There's
I don't think they understand that like you're going to work 24/7 pretty much. You're not going to have a day off.
yeah. And then you got to think about there is no healthcare. There are no benefits. There's no vacate. There's no sick time and all. No, there's none of that. it's not that. You don't get 2 weeks paid vacation. Like you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta pay for your own this, you gotta pay for your own that. You're not getting the backing of an employer. So it's another thing to think about.
Right. So that's like the trade-off, right? So like, oh, I want to have this, like, do what I want, but I don't think it's so much like that, right? Like you said, you're not going to have all these backings. You're going to have the medical and all that, retirement, 401k, all these cool things. But you're going to get to work. Like you said, I think maybe if people do things that they like to do, I like to have the opportunity to have like an endless, you know what I mean? Like, okay, let me start over. I would like to have like that limitless amount of money, that I can make, right? So like, if you're a realtor, you can have a great year. You know what I mean? Like you said, you just slang like 15, 20 homes, right? But then you can have a dry year. Like who's going to make that up for you? Like nobody, right? No one owes you anything. You know what I mean? So it's like that trade-off, right? That people take, right? Like,
Yeah. And then, another thing about it is you got to, do your own taxes and all that. That's a whole other element to it. You're used to having your taxes just taken out of your paycheck, not having to worry about it. No, now you need to, whatever you get paid, your commission, take half of that and send it off to the IRS. Or, you know what I mean? So, and that's another part that was like a shock to me, was like, hold on, wait. Hold on, I got to pay on this. It's a big commission check. I got to
Foot Locker and drop.
Yeah, that's gone. Like, what do you want me to do? I got to work even harder at my other job to make sure I got money to pay off. So this is a lot to think about. It's not just as simple as get my license.
No, if it was that
easy, sale,
everyone would be doing it, right? Like,
right.
Everyone would be doing these, their own companies if it was that easy, but it's not. You know what I mean? We look at someone like, oh, look at them, man. They could just take 2 weeks off. Like, yeah, but you're not gonna get paid. Like you said, nobody's gonna pay you. Like, you better sell a house. You better sell a house or two.
Right. So that's that.
Well, plug it right now, man. Tell the people where they can find you, man.
We actually do have our team has an Instagram page. It's at Fit for Life Real Estate. That's who we are. Fit for Life Real Estate. Again, Shelby Johnson. My Instagram is at Pendopopoulos.
Yeah, I'm gonna put all that.
P-O-P-O-L-I. Yeah. So you can hit me up on there.
I'll tag it on there. I know he said it really.
Yeah, just tag me. And I'm more of I'm like the casual realtor. It's not like big time. This is all we're doing. It's just houses. No, just you come talk to me. I'll give you some information on things if you want information on the market or what you can do to get get into a house and whatever it is. So
GoFundMe is not a retirement plan.
GoFundMe is not. No, it's not.
No, it's not life insurance. It's not life insurance. That's messed up.
It's not life insurance. Yeah.
So you're not one of those Tupperware guys, right? You just keeps calling this stuff and trying to get you to buy stuff.
No. And I'm not a salesman. I'll tell you that right now. I'm not a salesman. Any sales position I ever had was short-lived because I don't sell. I'm low pressure. People do what they want to do for the most part, right? If you got to force somebody or press somebody, to do something, that's not for me. It's not.
It doesn't even feel good. It doesn't feel good.
It doesn't. Not for me. Yeah, not for me. And so I'd rather just be there to guide and to assist. That's what I like to do. So I'm a low pressure realtor.
So, man,
you like that? Let's go think about it. Let's go talk about it.
I like that, man. That's dope. And I think that's a good, like you said, that's a good approach at it. You know what I mean? You're not trying to like, hey man, buy this out. Cause I've dealt with realtors like that. Like before you're even ready, they try to holler at you, try to get you. I don't think you can make someone a customer, right? I think the customers come to you. Like it has to be that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's gotta be organic.
It's got to be organic. It's got to feel right. You know what I mean? You're trying to because you're trying to make them buy a home, man. Like, you're trying to help them buy a home. You don't want to just here's your home now, drop them off here. It's a good idea. Like, what? They're stuck there, man, But, I got to call you out, man. How come we didn't take that picture with the big key, you know what I mean? My first home and stuff in front of, with my wife in front of.
You want to do it now? We can do it now. What's the statute of limitations on that?
Those are little social